Today I'm going to show you how I dry my fish in the oven. You can dry fresh fish, you can dry smoked fish. The fish I use is not actually dry, so I dry it in the oven. As you can see, it's still very soft inside. Most times when I cook, the thing breaks up in the pot. By the time the soup is ready, it's all gone. You can't even find the fish there. So what I'll do is I cut it up. I cut it up into bite-sized pieces so that I don't have to break it up when I dry it. But you can dry it as whole if you want. You can dry it whole the way it is if you want. But I like cutting mine up in bite-sized pieces so that it is easier for me when I have to cook with it. I just take the quantity I need, I put it in the soup or stew. I don't have to begin to cut it up because then it's very dry. So I use it like that. But if you want to dry yours as a whole, you can get it very dry. You can get it not so dry. So depending on what you want. I set my oven at 250 and then I allow it. I don't rush it. I allow it to take its time to dry. It doesn't matter how long it takes because when you have the oven too high, it's gonna burn. So you just set it low, where it's not too low that it's not heating up and where it's not too high that it's burning. Just enough to get it going. And then I leave it for some hours. I keep checking back on it constantly to see how it is doing. This is my fish all cut up. So I lay it on an oven tray. I turn the white side up so that they can get more of the heat. I just space them out very well so that I make sure they are lying flat on the tray. And my oven is already set. This is what I got out of it. I still have some flesh left in the bone. I'm going to pick them out. The bones, I'm not going to throw them out. I'm still going to boil them and make fish stock out of it. I can use that for maybe my jollof rice or my moi moi, or I can even use the stock to make my soup. So, waste not, want not. And in we go. Yep. After about 3 hours or so, I bring it out and then I turn it over. Because I didn't spray oil on the tray, it sticks a little. You can always put foil on the tray before you put the fish, if you don't want the hassle of washing out the tray. So I just scrape it up, I flip it over to check, because they're not all the same sizes. Some are going to dry faster than the other. As you can see, there's a very huge difference from when it went into the oven. Now it's dry, like we'll say, dry fish. So what I'm going to do is I will sort out the ones that are as dry as I want. Like I said before, they're not the same size, so some will dry faster than the other. So the ones that has really dried, the ones that have really dried to my taste, I'll just sort them out. But if you want it as dry as this, you can always use it, depending on what you want. But I want mine to be really, really dry. So when I sort out the ones that have dried the way I want it, I'm going to put back the remaining back into the oven. Now you have it, dry fish.